Welcome back to part 2 of our conversation with Itisha Chowdhury. In this episode, we go even deeper into what confidence really looks like beyond the pageant stage. Together, we explore the essence of self belief, the courage to accept criticism that helps us grow, and the wisdom to let go of the voices that don't serve us. We also talk about healing old wounds, rebuilding self worth, and finding strength in authenticity. If you've ever struggled with self doubt or wondered how to stay true to yourself amidst noise and expectations, this conversation is for you. Let's dive in. Your feelings, your thoughts, we are the detached observer. I always have this question anytime I'm in a conversation like, do you have a switch off, power off button for your thoughts? That's something to.
For me, I don't have a switch off button, just I'm being extremely honest.
100%. I mean, I've been trying, but no.
I'm a thinker. I'm a huge thinker. My brain is a non-stop machine.
Yeah.
It's just 24/7. I wake up and it's going, and it's an ongoing process.
100%.
Until the time I close my eyes, and even in my sleep, I think.
Yeah, we do have it, for sure.
And I'm an Aries, so you guys to top it all off. But yeah, so I mean, I can never stop thinking, you know.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized is that life has its own way, because you experience so many things during the day, right? Like for example, I was at work today. At the office, I saw my colleagues, and they're all going through something. Everyone's going through something.
They would tell us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would go and start.
Something somehow, like you see it on their face,
Yeah.
you can feel it.
The energy.
The energy, you know?
Yeah.
But, when you see all that and then you question yourself, you're like, I'm okay. I'm breathing, I'm present, I can see, I can eat, I can smell, I'm okay. And even though the energy is like so negative sometimes, people don't really like what they do.
100%, yeah, of course.
And don't get me wrong, some people also love what they do.
Exactly.
I love my job.
Yeah.
Good for you, so yeah, it's just all about how you see yourself. Yeah.
It comes back to the mindset and perceptions.
Absolutely.
And that's something we really need to keep working on, right? It's the intentionality, the intention behind why we're doing what we're doing. Which leads me down to the fact about confidence and coming from the, this industry of pageants and modeling, and then how you've been carrying yourself, and there's a certain level of responsibility that also comes with the honor that's attached, right? So I'm really curious to know about this. What is confidence for you? Because moving from the breaking to the inner work, I'm sure that does involve a lot of, working on yourself, away from the world, literally in silence. People usually have this conception, the moment I say confidence, I've literally had people walking up to me and being like, oh, you're very confident in the way you speak, you're very, direct and bold, and yes, I really appreciate those comments, but for me, that's not confidence. So I'm going to get to my version of confidence, but before that, I would love to hear the insights from what do you think confidence, the true essence of confidence lies, and can that be broken or shaped by anyone or the external body? What is your take on that?
Very interesting question, because I get asked this question several times, and my answer is always different, one way or another, believe it or not.
Right.
The reason why I'm saying this is because when I'm going on stage, I'm about to do modeling, catwalk, or whatever I'm doing. For me, confidence, right there, right then, is a different word, different answer.
Yeah.
And because as you know that I'm in multiple industry and I do different things, like if I'm in a classroom and I'm in front of my students, I also have to be confident.
Right.
When I'm at work, I'm in my office and then I have my assistant sitting in front of me, I still have to be confident. So for me, confidence is like different in every scenario.
Okay.
So I can give you one example, like, before going on stage, if somebody asks me, what is one advice that, and this actually happened to me the other day, what is one advice that you can give me?
Yeah.
My answer to her was, be confident. Although I
But what is confidence?
yeah, so although I was also, battling with my own, and she's like, what is this one thing you can tell me? And I was like, listen, I don't really know what confidence is. All I know is I just have to be present.
Right.
I just have to go there and give my best. For me, that's what confidence is.
Beautiful.
When I'm in my office and I'm, taking care of files and I have my assistant, I don't know what confidence is, but I just know that I have to get the work done. I just have to know that, I am the one who's in charge over here, so I will tell this person how to do it,
Right.
and not like, in a rude way, or when I'm, in front of my students, when I'm asked a question, I know that I have to give this answer. Whether, for me, confidence is like knowing your value, knowing what you're doing, knowing what you're good at. You're in front of people for a reason. You're talking for a reason. So you know what? Like, just give your best.
Very true.
So that's confidence for me.
Love that. I think beautifully mentioned with the examples, the practical examples from your life, and knowing our worth, and that is what we as women always struggle with. We're like, the moment there is a compliment, we find ourselves even more worthy after that, and then we start feeling good about ourselves. Why can I say before leaving my home and be like, look at myself in the mirror and be like, wow, you look confident today.
Yeah.
We don't say, the moment someone walks up to me and be like, oh, you're very confident, and then my whole day, my whole energy shifts, and I'm like, oh, that's correct. And then somebody the other day walks up to me and be like, oh, I don't think you're confident. Work on yourself. Then my entire confidence shatters. So, over a period of time, personally, I've realized, and that's why it really ties well with what you just mentioned about knowing your value, giving your best. Because, for me personally, I had this question, and I said, confidence is never loud. It's in the power of silence. We think that lashing out, arguing back, or putting the person in their place is confidence, but that's not. Your silence is. Silence people view, oh, but that's passive. You're letting the other person walk all over you. That's where the role of boundaries, the power play comes in. That's where you assert, but not be aggressive. And whenever someone challenges your value and worth, we always have this instinctive need to prove the other person that no, you're wrong, I'm correct. When we let go of that feeling that I don't have anything to prove, I know what I come with, that is confidence, and that really ties beautifully with what you mentioned about knowing your value, knowing your worth, and giving your best. When I've done that, what the hell I have to worry about, and I can just go and be like, I'm done for the day and I'm going to hit the sack. But that's where, and those who are struggling with confidence, they will keep thinking, spiraling overnight, just thinking about that, oh, I don't think I'm confident, the other person is, what are the hacks, what are the quick tips and tricks to boost my confidence? So yeah.
I just feel like everything that you said is beautiful, it's really amazing, and to go back to the point where you said, validation from others. We do seek for validation. We do want people to notice us. We do. For us, it makes a huge difference when somebody gives us a nice compliment versus when it's something negative. Because then it keeps you wondering, like, why did that person say that? And it's only normal. I'm not saying that I don't think like that. I also think like that. When something is negative.
It does impact.
It does have.
We cannot be like completely stoned and be like, oh no, nothing impacts me.
It does have an impact. But then again, to what level you let people get to you?
100%. We need to have that filter.
Yeah, you need to exactly. And for me, I take negative comments, like not negative comments, but more like criticism, as lessen.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Like if somebody's saying something about me that, oh, for example, what you just said, like, you know, you don't sound very confident today. If somebody ever says this to me, I will actually like sit there and analyze. I'll think about why did this person say that? You know, how am I looking different today? Am I saying something different today? Is my mind not there completely? Am I not focused? So instead of taking it in a negative way, I actually thank that person. I will thank that person and be like, thank you for pointing it out.
Right.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe.
Today I'm not feeling my best.
Right.
And then I'll be like, okay, and that's okay too. Tomorrow I'll be my best.
Yeah, we cannot be 100% every day. You'll be like, oh, I'm all charged up, fully recharged, and you know, I'm gonna be doing my best every day.
Yeah, and then you know, like taking that comment and just applying it in my day-to-day life. It's actually, I see it in a good way. It's a positive thing when somebody tells you something negative. Because then
that's a feedback. That's a gift.
Yeah.
I was taking my course, one of the courses here, and we were being just taught about, you know, the feedback that we receive from the instructors or sometimes the TAs, and we take it negatively. We're like, oh, how dare they write this to me? Like, you know, can't they see I devoted so much time and effort to this?
Yeah.
But really seeing that as a gift, both from the person who is giving the feedback and the one who is receiving it, and I think you beautifully pointed that out. But I'm definitely curious here. We do have few people in our lives, not always, it's my personal experience, where someone's intention might not be pure when they're giving you the feedback, and sometimes that emerges from their insecurities. So someone who's already struggling with their worth, and on top of that, they end up meeting someone who's projecting their insecurities onto this person, and then this is the entire spiral. The person is going to be in that hole for a longer period of time just before they realize it, probably how much damage that's going to be doing to their self-worth. What do you think is the way to navigate that situation specifically?
Oh, I go through that a lot. It's very true.
That's how the world operates.
I have people commenting, you know, oh, by the way, you look nice at the, like, wearing that outfit, however, that didn't really, like, look good on you, the color didn't suit you, the this, the that, listen, how many people can I listen to?
Exactly.
Did I feel
You
good
walk
about
outside,
myself? Did I feel good about myself? Do I have nice pictures? Did I like what I see
exactly.
myself?
Yeah.
Like, am I loving myself when I look at that picture and I feel like I look good? Then I look good. So like your comment is nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. However, if I look nice, if I felt like I look nice in that dress, I will look nice in that dress regardless.
I love that really bold expression.
Yeah, I mean, I do have people coming up to me and saying these things. You know, my friends, and they're coming from a loving place. They come clean, just out of niceness. They can be a little harsh, and it does hurt. And I remember those comments. It
stays, exactly. Like, even I'm in my recovery and healing phase now, but certain things, like, I'll just be sitting and suddenly I'll start crying.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's some comment that comes up, and then I link it back to, and then it just spirals, right? So.
But you know what? I remember those comments not to, like, remember it in a negative way. I remember those comments just to keep them in my head. Like, I don't want to forget them simply because what did I learn from it? You know? Sometimes, like, for example, the dress situation, you know? I wore this beautiful dress, I was extremely confident, I loved how I looked, and then when I came back to Montreal, I was still like, that dress didn't look that good on you, that color didn't, suit you. Well, thank you, thanks, that was your opinion, that's your opinion, I appreciate it. However, I felt like I looked good, but then at the same time, I'm keeping in my mind that, this person might not have, like,
Nothing.
that.
Something that matches with your interests,
Yeah.
right? And everyone has a right to voice their opinion.
Oh yeah.
It's just up to us. Do I want to take this? If it's really something valuable, then yes. But trust me, Itisha, I feel like the ones who really want the best for you, they will phrase or frame their opinion in a way which is
In a
respectful.
different way.
Not in a way which is putting you down.
Yeah, you remember those. You remember those that
100%.
phrase properly and
Exactly.
the ones that
That's very intentional. The word choice that they use.
yeah.
It's gonna be, you see that effort. And I think the power of giving feedback to someone also is in a way when we've healed ourselves, right? And moving on to the healing piece, which is something I'm very curious about. Do you have any moments of silence during the day where you're like, okay, this is Itisha's time, and this is where I'm gonna work on myself? And are there any wounds which still come up, especially when when you're dealing in this industry, and is there something from the past that's still blocking and you're like, oh, this acts as an obstacle, which is in a way creating hindrance to tap into my truest potential, and you recognize it and you're like, well, I'm curious, how can I tackle this if you're comfortable sharing that with us?
Yeah, of course. And thank you once again for asking this question because I feel like nobody really asked me this question ever.
I'm very curious about this.
So it's nice. It's nice to, and I'm going to speak out loud right now. Just think out loud, I guess. I do have those moments, and let's be real. During the day, there are multiple things that we go through. Family, friends, relationship, work, a lot of pressure we have, and we have these goals we want to meet, we have these expectations we want to, an expectation not from others, more like from yourself. You want to achieve certain things.
Or prove something. As women, it becomes even more harsh. Right?
Exactly. So yeah, during the day, I wished, I'm being really honest with you, I wish I had the time to say, oh, you know what, this is Itisha time, this is me moment, and I try, when I wake up in the morning, I do my little meditation for a few minutes. I don't sit there and I don't have time, to be honest, I'm always running around, doing things. Even after work, I would love to sit down and just have a me moment, but I'm working out or doing groceries or stuff like, our regular life, day to day. So I don't really always have the me time. However, I always take a moment to just snap out of my thoughts. And like I said previously, that I'm a thinker. I'm a huge thinker. I'm constantly thinking, what can I do? How can I get better? How can I grow? How can I glow? How can I, I'm always self-motivating, always self-pushing, always, working in my head. I'm at the office, I'm doing my corporate job. Yes, I am fully present, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, I have another job too, right? My social media, which I don't have a manager, by the way.
Wow, so you handle that all by yourself?
Everything on by myself.
Phenomenal.
Really?
Phenomenal.
I appreciate it. Everything on my own, and I'm also thinking in my head that I need to make this post. I need to post about this at a certain time, and social media it's calculated. You can post at 3 in the morning.
Very true.
Because you're not gonna. So you need
to get that.
Respect all of that. So that being said, I'm constantly working in my head. If I'm not working on myself, I'm working on my relationship. If I'm not working on my relationship, I'm working on my family. How can I make things better for my family, for my parents, for constantly, and it does get exhausting at some point. But that's where I find my balance. That's where I tell myself, like, look, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. And whatever I can do, I will do. But the rest, if it's supposed to happen, it will happen. And my biggest me moment is my workout session.
I was about to talk about that.
What a beautiful reminder that confidence isn't about being fearless or perfect. It's about knowing who you are, embracing growth, and choosing which voices deserve space in your mind. Thank you, Itisha, for sharing your journey and wisdom with us. But we are not done yet. In part 3, we'll take this conversation even deeper as we explore purpose, identity, and what it truly means to create a life that feels aligned from the inside out.